session 136 with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. We are going to be continuing on the theme, the Enjoy the Journey collection that I introduced last week on Friday. It is this gorgeous designer series paper with all of the beautiful scenery, which is part of the Enjoy the Journey collection. But it's also been introduced as an additional celebration item here through the month of February. So we are going to take this beautiful paper and we are also going to pair it, of course, with the coordinating suite, the Greatest Journey bundle. But I'm going to pull in this other celebration item, which you may have overlooked. This is the In the Country stamp set. It has two images. One is kind of a, I want to say like a Tuscan villa, like a old world style country home. And the other is, of course, the countryside with the dirt road going up the mountainside. And so a couple of really cute cards. I was going to say that they are a little bit inspired. My friend Kay Cogbill from Arkansas created some really cute cards the other day, and so I'm going to change things up, put my spin on it. Of course, I'm pulling in the bright colors, but I think you guys are going to enjoy these. Hi Terry, hi Kathy, hey Wendy and Karen. Hello everybody. Hello my hubby watching from the office briefly. Hey Janelle. All right, great everybody. We're just getting started here. So like I said, we are using the gorgeous Enjoy the Journey designer series paper. We're going to use the In the Country stamp set here that's on page 12 of your celebration brochure. So exciting times. We have just the remainder of the month, 3 weeks left for Stampin' Up! Celebration. And of course they introduced those 10 additional items. They're not new items per se, but they are new to celebration. So a lot of awesome options on there. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started here. All right. Hope you guys are staying warm and cozy today. Thankfully, our Arctic cold front has moved out and the temperatures are warming up a little bit. We're back in the 30s today, but it is quite windy. I don't know if you can hear it, but the wind is howling. All right, so February host code here. Hi Kathy. Hello. All right, it was great to chat with you this morning. All right, so February host code here at EPDMNTX4. If your order is under 150, go ahead, use that code when placing your order with me so that you can get my awesome tutorials and freebies that I send out to thank you guys. All right, so like I said, using this Enjoy the Journey with the Greatest Journey bundle, pulling in our In the Country stamp set, and because I love the sentiments from Picturesque so much, I'm actually going to be using this one as well. So this is our variety pack here today. All right, so we've got some neutrals, but we're going to pull in some colors. Most everything here inspired by our Enjoy the Journey collection. You guys know how I like to coordinate with with my projects. All right, so the very first one, we are going to go green here. We're going to use our country roadside image, and I've got some extra trees and my sentiment. I've even got this little runner, and you guys can help me decide if I want to use that or not. Oh good, Kathy just ordered this paper. It's beautiful. And I'm going to start out. I usually go by the colors here on the back of the paper pack. In this case, our greens are Garden Green and Coastal Cabana. However, I wanted to use this particular, the tree pattern, because I felt like we're kind of running up into the countryside surrounded by trees. And so the darkest of these is, of course, the Garden Green. But I felt like Coastal Cabana was a little too bright. I wanted to go a little more subdued. So I played around with my greens. I was toying with doing some pear pizzazz But ultimately, I ended up with soft sea foam. That, my friend Kay, I was chatting with her a little bit, and she said soft sea foam is her go-to green. And I had to laugh a little bit because I said soft sea foam is probably my least used green. I'm always going with Old Olive. That's my most used green. So she encouraged me to get out the soft sea foam. This is from the Subtles collection, and give that a try. So you guys let me know what you think. So, all right, we're gonna do landscape on this. This was, of course, 5.5 by 8.5, and I folded it there at 4 1/4. All right, so we're gonna do a layer of the garden green. That's 4 by 5 1/4. And then I cut the top section of this 12 by 12 sheet off. That gives us this lighter color. So maybe you couldn't tell so much from there, but when I pull in that top section, I do think soft sea foam is a pretty good match. The Pear Pizzazz, if I show you that real quick, the Pear Pizzazz is actually can be quite bright, and if you look at those together, of course the garden green goes with both, but I thought Pear Pizzazz is just a little too much contrast, so that's why I went with soft sea foam. All right, so there's your color theory for today. All right, good. Terry says she loves Old Olive. Karen says she loves soft sea foam. So yes, so both good options. Hi, Alicia. Hello, hello. All right, so we're going to mount our designer series paper. Of course, the back side is quite pretty with these little, it kind of reminds me of glass tile that you might do as a backsplash in your kitchen. It's quite pretty, but we're going to use the trees here, the subtle tree line, to go, of course, go with our country road. All right, so this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. We'll put our adhesive on and mount that to our garden green that is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, I'm not gonna mount it just yet in case I decide to add some twine or something. This is the 3 twine combo pack that goes with that collection, just in case. I haven't made up my mind yet. But what we are going to do, because we're using this gorgeous in the country countryside stamp, is that I'm going to pull in my deckled rectangle dies, and I am using, it's the 4th one if you count from the largest, then 1 2 3 4, so 4th down from the largest, 5th up from the smallest, however you want to count, kind of that middle size. That seemed to be best. What I do sometimes when trying to decide, because the images here on the stamp set are actual size, you can just place your dies right over, and that will help determine, do you want that one? This one was just a little too big. I do want my trees to kind of stand out a little bit. I want you to be able to see them and not have them totally covered. So that's why I went with this smaller size here. All right, so let's go ahead and move this over so you guys can see what we're doing here. And we are going to get out our garden green. So like I said, this is a pretty simple card, just our card base, contrasting layer, and then our designer series paper. Now I did use the die cut for the deckled rectangle there, but we're going to just stamp our image here in the garden green. I'm not actually going to do any coloring. I'm just going to stamp this right on there. I feel like it's such a pretty stamp that if you look at all the detail in there, of course, you are more than welcome to get out your colored pencils. I'm actually going to use some blends, Stampin' Blends, for the next card to add a touch of color. But sometimes I think just tone on tone, a really nice monochromatic look that we have going on is quite pretty. Okay, so for a sentiment here, I was thinking, because we have this running off into the woods from the picturesque set, I love the sentiment. Difficult roads bring you to beautiful destinations. Oh, that can be so true, especially we've all been through a difficult few years, one way or another. And we hang in there, then of course, then we can see things hopefully get better. But I love that. Difficult roads bring you to beautiful destinations. And this to me is beautiful. Sometimes we get a little overwhelmed with everything, but if we can step back, gain a little perspective, we can see the beauty around us. So I love that. And I was thinking, to keep it simple, I would actually stamp my sentiment directly onto my card front here. Again, with the garden green, just keeping it really, really simple. One thing I wanted to do beforehand, we can leave it simple like that. I think I'm going to do, let's do the sentiment. I'm going to do this first before I glue anything down, just in case. I can always move, adhere that on differently. So we're aiming for the center here, bottom center on this panel. All right, that came out nice. And then of course this I will pop up with dimensionals. So we've got our nice simple card. We could leave it simple just like that, or I have taken just a scrap of garden green cardstock, and in this Greatest Journey bundle, there's a couple of images. There's the little hiker that we used on Friday. There's also a runner. I don't run. I will power walk. I've never been a runner. I've always been a little envious of those who do run. Running just has never been my thing. I'd rather walk or dance my way there, but have not ever really gotten into running, although I would love to. But so anyway, so I was thinking we could almost, that kind of goes with it, could put our runner here as an element on the card. Or we also have this tree line that would pull in the designer series paper, and that also has a die cut. And so just stamping tone on tone, garden green on garden green, and die cutting it could actually add some extra trees. So this is where I need your help. Let me know. Do you like sweet and simple, just the stamped image of the sentiment? Do you like the runner element? Or do you like the added trees? All right, so you let me know. Simple, runner, or trees, okay? I love that, Wendy. She says, I'm not built to run, but I can craft up a frenzy. That's right, girl. I'm right there with ya. Hi, Trey. Hello, hello. 70 degrees in Georgia and sunny. Boy, I wish I were down south there with you. That sounds good to me. All right, Kathy agrees. Dancing is the best. That's right. I will dance to my own tune. I have to be careful. I'm one of those people that I stand when I craft. I'm actually standing right now. And a lot of times I'll listen to a podcast, different things while I'm stamping, cutting paper, because it's kind of a mindless activity. So I'll listen to something. Other times I will turn on the music. I'll put on, Spotify or something like that. And I've got some of my favorites, but the trouble with that is when I put that on, then I end up doing my salsa across the stamp room instead of getting my stamping done. So so sometimes I'm one of those people that I can't just have the TV on for noise in the background. My husband is like that. He can turn it on and not pay any attention and go about his business, but I can't. If the TV is on, if the music is on, if something is on, then it catches my attention. The next thing you know, I'm standing with the laundry in my hands, staring at the TV, and he's like, did you forget what you were doing? All right, so actually, I think there's enough. I like the simplicity of that. I don't think I'm going to add any twine, so I will go ahead and apply my adhesive to that. I popped that front panel, our country road, up with some dimensionals. All right, so I'm going to read through your comments here and see. All right, Karen likes them all. We've got Kathy voting for the runner. Trey, I'm in upstate New York, so I am up north, but we have our second home away from home is down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and my husband works for a company that is based out of Norcross, Georgia. So we've got some friends that live down there too, so we're familiar with the Atlanta suburb areas. All right, Janelle likes it simple. Alicia likes the extra trees. All right, Terry goes for simple. All right, but we've got 2 votes for simple, 2 votes for the runner. All right, so, and 1 vote for the trees. All right, so we need 1 more vote, okay? So I need either a runner or a keep it simple. All right, you guys let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to find some mini dimensionals for our runner because okay, Wendy voted runner it is. Even though we don't run, maybe it's a jogger or just somebody that's really got their power walk on. All right, so I think this looks good right down here. It is a little funny because it looks like a little stub, but you know when you're running and you usually kind of have one hand in front of the other and you go like this? Well, that's what that is. It's not a stub. It's his full arm. It's kind of the fist there. Pumping the fist when they run. But isn't that cute? I thought pulling in that sentiment from the picturesque stamp set. Of course, here our country road from in the country, and then our runner and our paper here from the Enjoy the Journey collection. So lots of options. Again, it did look cute. If you had put the trees there, that would be cute. So a lot of different little elements that you could pull in there. That would be a lot of fun with that. All right, so like I said, though, we keep it pretty simple. So what do you guys think? Soft seafoam. Soft seafoam and garden green, a combination that I haven't used in quite a while. Okay, so next up, I said we're going to pull in a little bit of color. We're going to use our country home, our villa. I'm going to say it's a Tuscan villa. I've never actually been to Tuscany. We have been to Italy. We've been to Rome, and we've been through some of the little villages in the Cinque Terre region when we were on our Mediterranean cruise back in 2016. And even when we went to Greece, some of the houses were built with kind of that plaster look. So I'm going to keep it neutral to start with, going with a crumb cake card base here. All right, crumb cake is a great neutral. Again, 5.5 by 8.5, folding at 4 1/4. This time we're going to go portrait because our stamp is a little bit longer here. But so let me show you. I'm going to do the same thing, that same size deckled rectangle for our image. But this time I'm pulling in another, this is where the color's coming from. This beautiful pattern of the Enjoy the Journey Designer Series paper. The backside has this fun, kind of a weaved tile look to it. So love that. But you guys need to help me decide. So on the ends of the paper, they kind of go from yellows, oranges, down to pinks and reds. Do we want to put that behind our villa? Kind of have like the setting sun? Or do we want to pull in all of that fun color and have it be that rickrack kind of design? All right, so you guys can think about that. In the meantime, I'm going to stamp our image here using soft suede. This is just a little bit darker than the crumb cake, and I thought it would make it stand out nicely. I'm using the E block for both of these stamps because they're a decent size. And I'm going to stamp this right in the center. All right, Karen and Kathy both agree with the pinkish sunset. Okay. All right. Oh, isn't that pretty? And again, I love just stamping it in a single color. Look at all of the detail on there. So that's where I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Blends, because I thought we could use a little bit. We do not have a garden green set of Stampin' Blends. So instead, I'm going to bring in some shaded spruce. And of course, the pink here is actually Melon Mambo. So I thought we could highlight just a little bit of the vine. Maybe there's a little couple of flowers in one of the window baskets. And of course, I do have soft seafoam, just in case. I do have a little bit of terracotta. We did have a terracotta tile color. It was an in color a few years ago. Cajun Craze is very similar to terracotta. And I thought that would work maybe for some of these clay pots on there. But yeah, so I'm going to pull in my chipboard piece. We've done all of our fun backgrounds here with this one. And hopefully you guys can see close enough here in the video. But I'm going to come in. Let's go light first. I'm going to go with the light shaded spruce. I'm using the bold tip so that I have a little bit more control. And well, let's start with this, looks like a spider plant up here, whatever kind of plant that is. All right, we're going to go with that. And then it looks like we've got a little bit of vine kind of growing up through the cracks in the wall. All right, so I'm just kind of dabbing. Dab, dab, dab. That's a technical term for it there. Because if there's not really a lot to color, you're just gonna take the point of your blend and let that add just a little bit there. Again, we've got some more coming up the side. I think I'm gonna dab a little bit of green here and there, and then we'll dab a little bit of pink because maybe there is, what is that, wisteria that kind of grows up the side. That would be pretty, and add a little pop of color. I am going to add, I think, just a little bit of the light Cajun Craze. Whoops, boy, that one kind of fell apart. I think I need a new one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so a little bit of light Cajun Craze here to this. Definitely a clay pot on the sill there. Okay, and one there too. And that one, that's one of those wire baskets with probably the mossy stuff growing out of it. So maybe we'll just stick with the greenery on that. All right, and then we can add a couple little pops of color. So we'll pretend that these are geraniums up there. And I need to add a little more color. So just doing a little dots here. And then we're gonna add a few more little dots that'll be wisteria or climbing roses. That would be pretty too. All right, we're gonna make up, you guys may have noticed, I like to make up a story to go with my cards. So, so tell me your story. What do you think about our Tuscan villa here? Karen, thanks for joining us. All right. Oh yes, Wendy says yes, she remembers the terracotta tile. We had Pretty Peacock. Actually, good news, if you haven't heard, Pretty Peacock will be making a comeback. I'm so excited. That was one of my favorite colors. Lost Lagoon as well. That was from even a few years further back. That may have been, it may have been 2015 or 16, I think, when we had Lost Lagoon. Yeah, hi Sandy. Hello, hello. All right, good. So reading through the comments. Okay, so it sounds like you guys like the setting sun side for this. All right. So what do you guys think? Just added a little bit of color, some of that climbing vine, and then added some pink for our roses and geraniums there, and just keeping the rest totally neutral. Okay, Lost Lagoon was kind of a grayish blue. It was a lighter color, not as saturated as Misty Moonlight. I think I might have some handy. I know I have some in my stash. In fact, I'm pretty sure I still have my Lost Lagoon ink pad, but I can't find it at the moment. My craft room is, oh yeah, it's definitely kind of gone a little crazy. Let me see here. I thought I might have some Lost Lagoon handy, just a little bit. Actually, oh, I do. Oh, and look at that. I actually found some card bases. Huh, that would have been helpful when I was prepping my team packets the other day. All right, so let me show you guys a little side, a little detour from the focus here. All right, this is Lost Lagoon. And if I compare that with, so we'll compare that with, let's see, if I were to compare it to, this is Balmy Blue. See how much brighter Balmy Blue is? Lost Lagoon is kind of a grayish blue, but not so dark as, not as dark as the Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight is quite dark. So I guess it has a little bit of a greenish tint to it. There you go. But it was a very, very popular color. So I'm excited to see both Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock make a comeback. I think that'll be lots of fun. All right, let's go ahead and pop our focal image here up with some dimensionals. Oh, I hid them underneath my cardstock. All right, so we'll pop these on here. Now, I wasn't sure about a sentiment for this one because this one's not exactly a roadway. Although I'm sure if it's anything like Italy and Greece, it was probably quite the hike to get up here, built into a hillside. I don't know, I think that's so pretty. So that's with our kind of our painted sunset background from the Enjoy the Journey paper. And then we stamped there with the soft suede. Just added a touch of color with our shaded spruce and our melon mambo Stampin' Blends. I don't know. Do you guys think it needs a sentiment? Yes, Wendy says we should remember our craft rooms are working rooms and not show home exhibits. Yeah, mine is definitely not a show home exhibit. Usually if anybody comes to visit, I just close the door and just say, that is an enter at your own risk. When I get a table clean, but then that means another spot. I just kind of move it from one spot to the other. So yeah, I need to do some hoeing out. Hi, Nessa. All right, she agrees. No sentiment necessary on this. Kathy says they would make great spotlight cards. Absolutely. In fact, if you guys aren't bored, I could always do that on Friday, because that's actually what my friend Kay did. She actually did a spotlight, which means that instead of coloring the whole thing, you pop up a section, like you would punch out part with a circle or a die cut and just color a portion of the image. And that's called the spotlighting technique, which is a lot of fun. All right, so Wendy says, love the coloring, just highlighting the elements. All right, no sentiment required. It seems like you all are in agreement on that. Awesome. Yeah, sometimes quick and simple is best. And there's so much you can do with that designer series paper because you really have the whole Brights collection of colors in there, and then just pull in a neutral like your crumb cake or a subtle like your soft sea foam. Hi, Brenton. Hello down in Australia. Hope things are well down there. Boy, I wish it was summertime up here like it is in the other half of the hemisphere there. I'm over winter. It really hasn't been bad, but I'm just so over that. And I think that's why this time of year I like to create cards that take me on a journey. A bit of a creative escape from the cold and the gloom, and I can imagine that I'm in someplace bright and sunny. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this creative escape as well. Again, this was the Enjoy the Journey Designer Series paper. We pulled in elements from the Greatest Journey bundle. We used, again, the Celebration in the Country stamp set. And our sentiment was from the Picturesque stamp set there. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Just a reminder that this month's paper pumpkin kit is going to be titled Sunshine and Smiles, and it's going to coordinate with the Playing in the Rain bundle and the Rain or Shine Designer Series paper. Super fun and cute. Of course, we made a couple of these turtle cards in a previous video. All right, so just a few fun ideas. You might want to add that Designer Series paper or the bundle to stretch your paper pumpkin kit a little further. Again, you have until February 10th to subscribe to that, so don't delay. If you do a prepaid subscription, they're available in 1, 3, 6, or 12 months, and you order those in the online store, and you can add other items to your shopping cart there with you to earn celebration freebies. Okay, and then one other thing I've been working on today, just a little plug, my next to-go class is going to feature the Regency Park collection. This is the Petal Park stamp set and punch bundle, the Sentimental Park stamp set and die bundle. And I'm doing this in-person class on February 18th, but I'm also offering a to-go option as well. And I will include the link with the details there. So that's what's going on in my world. I hope all is well with you. That you have a great afternoon, rest of your day. And thank you so much for stamping with me. I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.